What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Flatworld. Yay, episode 75. We're going to drop down here and get started with the world tour as promised. I haven't made it yet, but by now you've probably seen something I posted on Reddit or some epic checkpoint video. It's not done yet. I decided to do the tour first so I can gather some inspiration while I show you guys my world here. But yeah, I guess we should just dive right into it. So, this whole big circle is the main base, the tower, I usually call it. It's not done yet. As you can see, there's a lot of open space. My dream for it was I basically built a huge tower, and it's always been kind of a shell, and eventually I'd like to fill this whole thing up so you don't even know you're in a tower. It feels like you're in some sort of huge underground base. Kind of like when you're in here, you can't really tell that you're in a tower, you're just in this big base, and when you go through here, you know, there's different corridors, so that was always the goal with it. So right in the middle, the whole thing is centralized by, you know, the middle of the circle, so you can drop down many different levels, go straight down to bedrock. I guess I'll start down here. I've got some overflow storage here. Whoa! I guess they took out the texture for these. These are the old wooden slabs that don't burn. So I made a ton of them before they stopped, you know, before they replaced them with the normal oak wood slabs, and I have a ton of them still. So if I ever need to have wood slabs that don't burn, I got a couple double chests full of them. Let's see. You know, some rotten flesh and stuff like that, different things that I can't keep track of. We've got 4 beacons, although one of them does not yet have an actual beacon on it, just more overflow storage. And so there's redstone down here to shut off the beacons. And then out here is just where I do my mining for dirt. You need a lot of dirt on the flat world, and you actually have to mine for it. Endermen are always like screwing with this thing and putting little holes down here, so I don't even know how because there's water. I'll explain that later. But anyhow, so that's the basement. Pretty subtle, pretty low-key, not much down here. But you can drop straight down from the top. There's a little crafting table. I like to hide crafting tables everywhere. But anyways, yeah, so here's my storage room. Right now, as you can see, the item frames are dark. It's just a snapshot bug. This snapshot is really buggy, actually. I've been having quite a few problems. But yeah, as you can see, it's just sorted into different things. That's all the gravel I own. I have used up all my dirt. I'm actually going to need these oak saplings to finish off the mountain soon. And, you know, just different stuff like that. I got tons of armor and stuff like that, all from trading with villagers for the diamond gear. And then I have some bones and swords and lots of enchanted bows. So yeah, that's kind of the first level is just dominated by this huge storage room. Over here you can see I was working on a little bit of a smelting area. This is the collection for a huge wheat farm I have upstairs, which you can see there. It all funnels down to here, which I'll probably change at some point to have it go somewhere else. I was experimenting with sort of having some vines snaking up the side here. Not sure if I like it or not, but either way, you can see some of the beacon rooms there. That one obviously is the one without a beacon yet. And then right here with the red wool, you can see where I had marked out some slime chunks. And that's also the purpose of the water here. But I think the slime chunks changed at some point, unfortunately. That is a mob elevator so that I can put passive mobs and have them go up to the top of the base, because it's really hard to get them up in any other way. So I just put them in that elevator and they go up. That's why it's a 4-wide water elevator. In here is one of my portals to the nether, also one of my horses. This is kind of a horse stable area. It's not finished yet. It's actually the only place that really goes outside of the tower. And right here is a horse elevator, which I can show you if I just grab my horse here. So let me bust this open. This is Charlie. It's a very slow horse, as you can see. But this is a horse elevator made by JL, and it'll take you right up to this level. Right here we've got a fish farm. It's AFK, so you can You can get all sorts of cool stuff from there. You can see some of my drops that I've gotten. And then on either side, eventually there's going to be a little place where I can drop down into the water so my horse lands safe and sound. And, oh, oh my goodness. No, my horse. My horse. Dude, where did that guy come from? Anyways, as you can see, right now I have Haste 2, Speed 2, and Jump Boost 2. Those are from my beacons, obviously. So it makes it a lot easier to get around when you're fast and you've got a nice jump boost. Hopefully my horse is okay. That was the first ever horse I ever got on the Flatworld. Nope, looks like the horse died. Oh well, maybe I just made a backup before doing this video, so I might back it up because, or just use the backup rather, because a lot of things are going wrong with the snapshot, so I've been getting nervous. Anyways, we can come back in here. On the other side of this room is the elevator, and I try to keep clocks around because it's hard to tell what time of day it is. So I guess it's daytime, almost sunset. There's these two little hallways. Nothing's really over here yet. This room right here is for turning on and off the beacon, so you can see speed. If I don't want speed anymore, I can turn it off, and one of these will turn off. It's not that one, but as you can see, I no longer have speed, and then I can turn it on, and I will gain speed again. Over here, this big thing is my cobble farm. That's a humongous cobble maker. It's really fast. It's made by JL, and then it goes into something of my own design that I worked on with Patch, that basically you mine it, and whenever your pick breaks, it detects it with a timer and shoots out a new pick for you, and you can load this thing up with tons of picks, and you can basically mine cobble all night, and then all the cobble funnels into here. I just ran out, like literally just ran out of cobble, so I'll have to refill. I smelted it all, but usually I have several double chests full ready at any one point. If we come back up here, the only other thing on this level is this room right here, which is the elevator. So I can show you that real quick. It's a slime jump elevator, and just ride it up and then come out at the top here. And right here is a quick drop straight into that fountain in case I want to go back down for whatever reason. So as you can see, more crafting tables hid in the ceiling. It's always useful. This was my original tree farm before I had a fast one. It just, you know, it grows trees in a line, and that's pretty much it. There's lots of light around to speed up the process. This window is a window to something you'll see soon. This is my potato farm. And then in here is the carrot farm. And when they're all grown, you can hit the button, water comes down and washes it all down, and hoppers pick them up, funnel all the way back to here, and fill up a chest silo. So far, only the first chest is full, but as soon as the second chest starts getting carrots in it, that light will come on, and then that light, and I'll have plenty of carrots. That is my main source of food on the Flatworld, though, so I eat through them quite quickly. I just put that in there the other day. I haven't even put one on the other side, I don't think. You can sneak under here, actually, and there's a little staircase that goes down here. Another crafting table in the ceiling. And this is my melon farm. It's completely automatic. As soon as a melon spawns, the signal goes through, crushes the melon with glass, and that actually breaks the melon, and then most of the drops get sucked up by the hoppers all around. And then automatically get funneled into this chest, and over time it just fills up with melons, as you can see. I'm almost into the second double chest full of melon. And then this is just a staircase that goes all the way around. I can show you real quick, just if I drop down here. It's on this side. There's just a big old staircase. I used to have a piston elevator, but it broke, and for a long time I just had a broken piston elevator, so I built this staircase to go around. And then if I come over here, there's a little path here. It's not done yet, but it goes to this level, which is for the wheat farm, the massive wheat farm, which right now has most of the slots filled with wheat, not all of them. Wheat kind of has a weird color in this update. Usually it's yellower, but there you go. And I can press one big button, or maybe it's a lever or something over there, and all the water washes down, and then all the drops funnel down here into this water stream, get collected by the hopper. I had to put more hoppers because I realized that that hopper wasn't collecting them all before they despawned, and then they get funneled down in the chest I showed you before. So yeah, that's that, and we need to go up another level to see anything else. So up we go. We'll go past the watermelon farm once again, and up and around. So over here we have just another tunnel connecting them and a little passage through to here. This is right below the main area above, and I will explain what all this is about soon. So I guess we better head on up there to take a look. Before we do, this is just a new project I've been working on. It's infinite breeders for different passive mobs, and when the babies get spawned, they'll all come down this water stream and be delivered here back to my base, which is really cool. So I'll show you guys that later when I'm able to point that out. These are little mini sorting systems that sort mob drops, and these are little flumes that the mobs drop down. Of course, the armored guys survive, so I'll have to build in something to kill them. But for now, the mobs from the mob farm up top get dropped down and killed there. This is storage, and if I just walk up these stairs here, I can show you. This is kind of the main atrium, and above here is the mob farm. Now, I can press a lever right here. Actually, it's not there. The lights turn on the lights in the mob farm and disable spawning. This one, XP farm, if I switch that, the mobs will come down this center tube here, and I can use it as an XP farm and kill the mobs like this with my fist, and usually they're pretty low health. Of course, this guy was riding a chicken, so he's tough to kill. And then whatever drops I get from killing them with my fist, I put into these chests. And then those chests are what I showed you before. They funnel down through these hoppers, and they all end up in these chests. And there's a bunch of rare drops and stuff like that. So that's that. And then, as you know, this is connected to the tree farm, so everything's kind of interconnected here. Oh God, I should really get some sort of weapon on my hotbar. There we go. All right. So moving on here. Like I said, I've got the lights in the XP farm and a few other levers that don't do anything yet. And then this is where the world really starts branching off. So I've got wool here that points to one of the buildings, because there's 4 buildings surrounding the main farm. What does he have in his hand? Oh, an ink sac. That was weird. There's 4 buildings surrounding the main tower, and they're for passive mobs. So the wool indicates which building houses what animals. So black is for cows, gray is for horses, pink is for pigs, and red is for sheep. At the same time, these item frames show what lies beyond the road. So the gold is for the golden mountain. So that I've got a mountain over there. The string is for the spider farm. The gunpowder is for the bigger mob farm, and the water is for Salacia, which is an underwater world project that I'm working on. Also, there are rooms out here that each have a purpose. This one is brand new. It's going to be the potion room. Right now, there's these little 3x3 brewing setups. It's not completely finished yet, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm in the middle of working on that room. This room will be for transportation's sake, so it'll help you go up to the next level in the tower, which is for mob movement. And then this is the 4x4 elevator I was talking about earlier. And then here is how I currently get up to the final level with my horse, because I have yet to build a staircase, so I got to get on that. And yeah, just one more shot. As you can see, there's the fish farm, there's the potato farm, so everything's all kind of bunched together here. I know it's kind of easy to get lost. So if we run around this outer ring here, this is the portal room, which you can see it's kind of stripped right now. I'm going to be redecorating it. I originally built it and I didn't like the way it looked. I'm not a huge fan of the indent in the floor. I'll probably actually raise it up instead. So I'm going to be redoing this room, which is why it's kind of in shambles right now. But this room is complete for the most part. I think I might do a little bit with the upstairs here, but this is the library, which I made for enchanting. So you can see the enchantment table blends right in there, and it actually does work for level 30 enchants, and the beacon goes right through it, which is cool. There's certain blocks that the beacon can travel through. And then we've got our anvil here at the same time, and just tons of books around for decoration. And then up here is going to be a little bit of a cafe. The main purpose for this, which is why I've yet to build it, is I have a story that I do at the end of every Flatworld episode, and so these are all the chapters in the story. So eventually I'd like to put them on display or something up there, which is why I'm waiting to decorate. So now we can get started on going to the different places around. You can see here are the 4 mob tunnels, which again I didn't explain thoroughly. If I switch off the XP farm, the mobs instead get diverted to these 4 tunnels, and the 4 tunnels go down a level, like I said, and the mobs die from fall damage, and then their drops get organized. So that's just to be collecting mobs. And also, there's so much dark space up there that if I have the mob farm on, a lot less mobs will appear around the tower because it's not perfectly lit up. It's pretty close though. I just gotta go through and make sure everything's perfect sometime. But anyways, here are the 4 big buildings I was talking about. You can't see the other 2, of course, but they have big woolen banners to, again, note what kind of animal. So pink is for pigs and black is for cows. And there's a bridge connecting each building. Over here is the mountain, Withering Heights, because that's where I fight all my withers. But if we just go through one of these doors here, we'll see it's not very well lit up, but these are the infinite mob spawners. That one's not done, but the cow one actually is done. Let me in. Oh god, that was close. So the cow one actually is done. I just need to fill it with cows, so I've been breeding some here, but the cows will basically circle around, and then I will feed them with wheat, and the babies will fall through and fall down into a tunnel below here, you can see, and the tunnel goes under here, all under this road, and back into the main base. So that's the purpose of that. And then, you know, the gray building should be over there. That's just where I keep all the rest of my horses, and the other building, the red building, is where I keep all of my sheep. So these buildings used to be filled up with mobs, with passive mobs, but I actually had to get rid of them in order to spawn horses when horses first came out, because I had too many passive mobs in my spawn chunks. So we'll actually see where I moved them soon. But this is Withering Heights. This is, again, where I fought all the withers. And so in here you can see there's a little bit of a cave, and this is entirely carved out by the withers. You know, shooting projectiles and such. It's not lit up super well, but I kind of like that. And I just put some minecart tracks in here to make it look sort of like an abandoned mine shaft or something. And eventually, I'd like to put a tunnel going downwards, because I've got a tunnel cutting through the entire mountain. It's for horses. I made it so that I could lead mobs over to the Ark. And the Ark is... oh my goodness, something happened here. The Ark is Noah's Ark, basically. It's designed to look like that. And if we run through this tunnel, I can show you. Unfortunately, while I was working on finishing this mountain for the update video, it burned down. But I'm going to show you anyways. Alright, so here we are. It's kind of sad. I actually loaded a backup for the update video so you guys could see what the Ark used to look like, but it was just a little build meant to look like Noah's Ark, and I just did it so that I could move 2 of each animal here, and kill all the ones in my spawn chunks so that horses would spawn there instead, and then I could come back here and bring the animals back. So it actually didn't really have a use anymore anyhow, other than in the basement of it there's a little chicken cell that just gives me eggs. So now there's just, it's overrun with chickens. It burned down because it was struck by lightning while I was working on filling the dirt in this mountain, which, by the way, took forever. The way this mountain was made, I guess I should tell you, is by pouring lava and water onto the same spot successively so that cobble would build up over and over again. And eventually I was left with a huge cobble mountain, and then I tasked myself with covering the entire thing with dirt. And yeah, if you're wondering how the entire world is covered with water, that's something I did in one of the first episodes of the Flatworld. I think it was like episode 5 or 6. And that was to make sure that no mobs would be spawning, no slimes, no nothing. For as far as the eye can see, only in the chunks that I want mobs to spawn can mobs spawn. So yeah, it basically just ensures that no mobs can spawn other than where I want, and I don't have to light anything up or half slab anything. The water does the job for me. All right, so we checked out that area, and now we can go over to the water bucket, which is Salacia. So there's quite a long road to get over there, and so I'm gonna well, actually, I'm not going to cut the video because we need to see this big statue that I made. This is a statue that's based on a real one of Neptune in real life, and it says Amphitrite in Greek, which means Salacia. Well, basically, Salacia is the Roman goddess married to Neptune, I believe, and in Greek, it's just Amphitrite and Poseidon. But I thought Salacia sounded a hell of a lot cooler than Amphitrite, and it's easier to say because I don't know if it's Amphitrite, Amphitrite, I don't know. But anyways, he's holding a turtle and a trident, and it took me a little bit. I actually made it in creative and then copied it block for block. And yeah, so there's the statue, and the concept of Salacia is that it's going to be another big base like I have back there, except it's going to be entirely underwater, and there's going to be water all the way, you know, up to here or so, and you're just basically going to enter a huge underwater world. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fill in the water yet. I've done a lot of experimentation, and I don't know if I want it all to be source blocks or not. If I don't, then it'll be pretty simple. If I do, then it's going to be a little bit more work. But based on the cobblestone mountain, how much work I've done on that, I think I will be able to pull it off. So far, the only thing that's done at Salacia is this big round wheat farm, carrot farm, potato farm thing. And unfortunately, due to block updates, a bunch of the wheat and stuff got taken out right here. But because it's not properly covered by water. But eventually, hopefully something, you know, I'll retill it or something. And then this is going to be like a little atrium, and well, I guess I'll just leave it to you guys to watch the series and see how Salacia comes out. But I haven't worked on it in a while. It's been a few episodes. I'm mostly tidying up the base because we were getting real close to episode 75, which is when I, you know, every 25 episodes I check in with everybody and show you all the progress I've made. So I just wanted to tidy up for that. But we'll get back to working on this project very soon, and I think it's going to be super cool. And extensive and underwater. Yes. So anyways, we'll go to the next place now, and I'll show you what that's all about. So here's something to note. These lights that are all around the base actually come on only at night. So just something to keep in mind. But anyways, the next place we're going to is the mob farm. This is a fairly new project as well, and it was essentially done to help me out in terms of getting redstone, which is kind of funny because it took a double chest full of pistons. The reason I showed the walk here is I wanted to show you guys that there's a bunch of flashing fireballs that you can see when you go over here. I guess you saw it. Maybe it's from when I did a 1,000 subscriber special, I think, or something. And I shot out a bunch of fireballs, and I guess the game kind of glitched. But anyways, let's get under here because it's raining. This is the mob farm. It's a design loosely based on something JL put out, and basically as soon as mobs spawn, the whole row gets pushed off. It's very efficient. And since the whole place is covered with water, these are the only spots that mobs can spawn, so it works very well. Pretty much maximum efficiency for the farm. Unfortunately, I have this whole hatch set up, and basically how this works is as soon as mobs go through the tripwire, hatches flip up and kill them. But the hatches all fell off in the new in the last snapshot, the something WA, and it was really glitched, and so I'm gonna have to redo all the slabs, which sucks because you can't do the slab trick on single player. They're actually, you place the slab on an invisible half slab. Like, you see, those are upside down slabs, and you need to select the last pixel of the upside down slab, and the hatch will actually place like a half step lower. and it makes sure that no items or mobs get stuck on the hatches when they flip back up. But you can only do that trick on SMP, so I need to find someone to host a server for me so I can redo the trick with all the hatches. That's what I did last time. So unfortunately, right now, all the mobs are just going to here. The purpose of the double killing is that any mobs that will die from the hatches, and their drops get collected in the hoppers down there. And any mobs, for example, mobs with feather falling boots, as a rare addition, as a rare armor piece, they're not going to die from the drop, so then they would fall down and get killed by the lava, which sucks you in. But anyways, all the hoppers collect the mob drops, and then it all goes up this big hopper elevator and into this big sorting system. These two slots are actually gunpowder and arrows, which both I have just no need for. So I've got a hopper, hoppers facing each other, going back and forth, and they actually spit things, or they're supposed to spit things out of these droppers. I don't know why that's not working. I think redstone's a little glitched in the snapshot. I think because this wasn't working earlier, this big elevator, even though the redstone down there was pulsing, the torch wasn't pulsing. So I don't know, I think some things are glitched out in the snapshot. I'm really wishing I never had updated to the snapshot, because I'm afraid it's breaking quite a few things in the world here. But anyways, let's not be Debbie Downers. Yeah, this spawner works really well, and I get a lot of redstone usually from the witches, but it's not really coming through the sorter too well right now, so I'm hoping that gets solved. It kind of just works itself out, because I think it's just clogged right now. But anyways, we can see here we've got this weird iron golem villager setup. That's because there's a wither in here, as you can see by the bar at the top. And this is an auto tree farm. The design is by Danielle Coates. But basically you go in here, or Daniel, not Danielle, and you basically just, I guess I'll do it. I'll turn it on real quick. It shoots out saplings at you, so you never run out, and you just basically right click and it pushes trees forward, condenses them, and then the wither breaks them while he's trying to target the iron golem and the villager. So then all the tree drops are automatically brought down into here. I don't know why that's in there. And then, yeah, I have to just fill it with bone meal. That's my only job, and that's why I just get the bones from here and then craft them and put them in there. So that's why I have this farm over here. And then this is a nano farm. This is designed by Zuzuma Void, and you basically just walk up to it. This thing's going to pulse with bone meal, and you hold down right click, and as you can see, it just duplicates your carrots or your wheat or your potatoes or whatever it may be. And you can see these chests are all full with bone meal for the most part. So yeah, it certainly pays to have a high producing farm like this, because you get a lot of drops that way, and you can use nice farms like that require a lot of bone meal. So I'll never run out of wood, cobble, food. It's just never going to happen, because I've got these awesome farms that make it so easy. So anyways, we'll run back now and see what else there is to check out. Alright, so here's the last area, and it's next to the pig and sheep pens, and it is the spider farm. It's actually a design I made all by my lonesome. It's a spider and squid, unfortunately, only farm, so I guess you can't say spider only, because it does spawn squid. But yeah, the spider AI actually got updated, I think, maybe, so it's not as efficient as it used to be, but there are 4 levels, 2 on each side, and basically there are 3x3 pads that can only spawn spiders, and then they'll fall down onto these little half slabs and they'll die, and the string goes to me as well as the ink sacs apparently. But yeah, it is pretty efficient, as you can see. There's a lot of string there, but the string was, I was going to say, I can't remember what I built this for. The string was actually for all the tripwire required to build the mob farm. So I got plenty of string there. And then since it's actually an AFK farm, you know, it'll produce string while I'm away from my computer. I can actually just craft the string into wool and then trade it for emeralds with villagers, and I'm always looking for more ways to trade things with the villagers. I'm actually going to put a trading station at the super duper mob farm you saw, just because it produces so much rotten flesh, which is useful for trading. But anyhow, let's grab this pickaxe here. We're going to need to break this block to get up to the final layer of the tower. Because right now that's the only way to do it. I'm working on it, guys. Don't worry. But this final layer isn't supposed to be pretty. It's just for the mobs that come from the upstairs mob farm, basically. So if we go up here, we can see right now the lever is pulled, so the dispenser is off and the piston is retracted, so all the mobs drop straight down into here and then go down those 4 chutes I was talking about and die. When the lever is pulled again, the block will get pushed out and the water gets pushed. I guess one guy got left behind and pushes the mobs down into the center, and then they drop down the center tube to the XP farm. In the future, I'll have a few other options in here. I want to build a record farm, a record maker really bad, so that the skeletons will make records. I already have like 10 of each record, but it would be cool to have a record farm anyways. So that's all this level's for right here. Really nothing else. You can see I'm working on some sort of staircase that'll come down there. Dude, what are you doing, man? So anyhow, that's the top level. I don't think there's actually a way to get onto the roof. Oh, there is. That's actually my spawn point. So if I die and don't have a bed set, I'll go onto the roof. But there's really nothing on there. It's just the mob farm, which is all covered up anyhow, and then a bunch of wood. So if you want to see how the mob farm works, I'm not going to show it in this video. Stupid Endermen. But if you do want to see how it works, you can just check it out in the tutorial. So that'll be linked somewhere probably, or you can just look for it. It's one of my most viewed videos. So anyways, we're gonna drop back down here, back to the bottom of the base, because we've basically seen everything there is to see around here, and now it's time to go elsewhere. And to do that, we need to visit the Nether. So this is the horse portal. That's why it's so big, and next to the horse elevator. But I like to use this portal. It's one of my favorites. It leads down here. I don't think it's supposed to lead down here. I think my portal's got a little jacked up. As you can see, a lot of bats. As I hang out around the base, a lot of bats spawn, and then they'll fly through the portal. And when I go through the portal, there's like hundreds of bats sometimes. But anyways, this is the automatic smelter. There's actually some cobble smelting right now, as you can see. It used to be very functional. You'd put in one thing, you'd put in lava buckets, and out comes stuff. But now I have to manually put in all the cobble because it's broken for some reason. I think it's not compatible with lava buckets, but anyhow. This is one way upstairs, it's just a ladder. Or you can take the stairs, which is for the horses, because the horses keep coming through there. I don't know, I gotta work on the Nether a little bit. This place is definitely lacking. But yeah, either way, you end up here, which is just the main sort of hub. Here, there's probably a bunch of squid sacks. Yeah, this is, if you saw those floating portals with water coming down from them, that's an old idea I had for a squid farm. They all come through the portal, and then they all get stuffed in here. It's really, really funny. Yeah, this is my squid tank right here. And then there are a few things. This place just leads down. This tunnel leads to the dual blaze spawner. This right here, that's supposed to be the horse portal, I think, and then that one goes upstairs. I just have to recalibrate the portals a little bit, and then that doesn't lead anywhere yet, and neither does that. But this one, this one's a dead end, but eventually it'll lead to the wither skeleton farm, which was kind of a failure. But anyways, we're gonna show those things soon. But I'd first like to come up here. So the whole concept of the Nether is that I wasn't going to use minecart rails for anything because it's really hard for me to get gold here on the Flatworld. because the only way to get it is from pigmen, and iron's already hard enough to get because the only way I get iron is from iron golem farms, and so I just wanted to stay away from that. So back in the day when pigs riding saddles was the only alternative, I built a bunch of 3x3 tunnels, or actually I think they were 3x2, too tall. But now I have to stretch them to fit horses because they're obviously a better way of getting around. Now I might die here, so I guess I'll just make a chest and put all my stuff in it. I guess. It'll be annoying to get my stuff back if I do die, but whatever. We're going to do it anyways. Good enough. Everything else is trash for the most part. All right, let's try this. Getting on the roof of the Nether. I don't know if this trick still works. Oh, it does. Okay, so here we are on the roof of the Nether, and right away you can see I've got a little bit of gold. I guess not. I guess I've used it for everything. There should be some around here. I guess not. Maybe I moved it. But we've got some basic building materials here. This thing basically is supposed to work through a mine cart with a hopper, but it's always breaking. So maybe I'll revamp that someday. But basically, this is just a really cheap pigman farm I built when I needed some gold for stuff, specifically powered rails and other such things. And like I said, it's really cheaply made. It's just a bunch of layers of netherrack, not even a bunch, like 2 layers of netherrack. But when you go up there, it actually works pretty well. So I'd like to show you. It's taken a while, so I'll just cut to the top. All right, here I am. So as you can see, bunch of pigmen spawn right away, and I guess I don't have hatches on the second layer yet, but they all tend to walk off pretty quickly anyways. Looks like it might have slowed down a little. I remember this being faster, but either way, you can see they're falling, and then all their gold just gets collected by the minecart hopper, in theory. Of course, it's not working perfectly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's very, very simple, and it helps a lot with the gold issue, regardless of how poorly made this farm is. Don't know what that netherrack trail is about, but it's kind of interesting. So anyhow, we can take the portal to get out of here. I guess I'll have to get my stuff at another point. So we'll see where this takes us, because I don't know. Okay, we're here. So we should go through here and end up back down at the bottom in the Nether. Yep, okay. So before I go that way, which is to the Iron Golem farm, I'll show you the Dual Blaze farm and the Wither Skeleton farm. So let's hop over to the Dual Blaze farm. All right, so this is my Dual Blaze farm, and I never come over here anymore, mostly because I don't really need XP too often, because once you go on an enchanting spree, you're pretty stacked. But if we come up here, we can see the 2 spawners. I basically adapted a design by, I can't remember the guy's name. He wasn't a very popular guy, but he had a really cool idea for a farm that doesn't use pistons. It's just basically a funnel, and he theorized that it would be quick enough because the blazes walk off themselves. So it's not, the most efficient, but it's not bad. And if I just stand up here, both sides, the blazes will funnel down. What did I have in here? Nothing good. I'll take this, I guess. So yeah, the blazes just funnel down, and once there's tons of them built up, I go down here, and usually there's a lot of lag, so I gotta be careful not to fall off and die along the way. And then I can basically come over and hit them all. I mean, when they land, they'll get crushed, and then I can hit them all, and that basically brings them down to, the crusher brings them down to 1 heart, and then I hit them all and kill them so that I get the experience. That's what I'm trying to say here. This is just a maintenance door for the redstone behind the crusher. It's all very complicated. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as this area. It's very unfinished, and I hate building with nether brick, but it's like the most common thing around here, so I just didn't decorate too much. Yeah, you can see one of them getting crushed right now. and then yeah, it'll hold the guys above them. See how they're not falling down? It'll hold them until I kill this batch, and then once I do, I gotta get the experience, and then once I do, they'll drop down, as you can see. So that's basically the concept. But anyways, now we gotta check out the wither skeleton spawner. All right, guys. So here we are. The probably the most shameful part of my flat world. This thing is a giant perimeter, and you can see by all the flowing lava that this all used to be land, but I basically destroyed it all. And you can see there's lots of fire all around. Basically, I can't get TNT on my flat world, despite the fact that I have hundreds of stacks of gunpowder. So I wanted to build this really cool farm, right? And I figured out that if you turn the game mode on easy and blow things up with beds, you don't necessarily die on easy mode from putting a bed in the nether and blowing it up, but it destroys a lot of blocks. So I crafted hundreds of beds, hundreds of thousands of beds, and slowly chipped away at this perimeter, trying to make it a reality. Unfortunately, despite all the insane amount of work I did, there's pretty much no return. This farm basically doesn't work at all. So I don't even use it for wither skeleton farming because it's pretty much useless. It's designed to look like a big magma cube, as you can see by the little pixel art on the farm. And I basically built it like all in one episode so I could surprise all my viewers. And unfortunately, it still doesn't work. But yeah, as you can see, I had all sorts of storage for things that I might get, but really don't. There might be 1 or 2 mobs in here. It spawns blazes, pigmen, wither skeletons, and normal skeletons. And then there's some crushers down here that I can use to kill them. And if it's not, if it's like a wither skeleton, I might just crush it a little bit, but not all the way, so that I can kill it with a looting sword and try to get a skull. But it really doesn't work too well, unfortunately. Despite all the crazy, it's probably one of the most times I've ever spent on any project here in the flat world, and despite that, it's like the biggest failure there. So that's why this place and I have quite the history. There's one master crusher, and then if you go up here, you can see into the farm. There's a lot of redstone that went into it, so it's kind of a shame. And then if you come up this precarious glass staircase, you get to this nether portal, and you can see how exactly I was able to farm so many beds. I had, oh god, I had essentially a huge sheep farm here. Of course, I killed most of the sheep now. Oh my god, look at these guys. This moat is just a simple technique to trap mobs and slimes and fill up the mob cap really quickly. And then, yeah, I guess I still have quite a few supplies over here. Man, I should really take some of these back home. Ooh, a pick. Ooh, a silk touch pick. That's invaluable. And then tons of netherrack, as you can see, just from blowing up beds. And yes, the trees. So the combination of chopping trees and killing sheep or shearing sheep made it possible to craft hundreds and hundreds of beds, which I did, and then I brewed up some flame-resistant potions, and yeah, that's how I worked on this area. But yeah, like I said, it was a pretty big failure, unfortunately, and nothing ever really came of it. So that's sad, but oh well, I guess. So now I'll take you over to the iron golem farm. All right, so the last place pretty much to show you, because we're really winding this thing down. I'm actually running out of things to show you guys, is the iron golem farm, the Garden of Pharos, dedicated to faithful viewer Tpone2424, my first ever donator, also known as Tom Petrov. But yeah, we come through this portal here, and we're at the Garden of Pharos, which on the flat world you tend to miss vanilla Minecraft, so I did my best to let's see what else we got here. Pick. I tend to leave things around. Ooh, shovels. These are very, very valuable. Nice. yeah, I designed it to look as much like vanilla Minecraft as I possibly could. So there you go. Maybe it's a little prettier than vanilla Minecraft as far as bushes and flowers and stuff. I decorated it a little bit more. But other than that, it's pretty accurate, I'd say. In the center here is a little island. And basically these big, ugly dumbbell-looking things are little trees, just a little way I had of decorating Doc M and JL's Iron Golem farm design. All the iron golems fall down and collect at the middle here. The emeralds are just to flaunt how rich I am. That's actually like four to five stacks of emeralds or something, even more probably. And then the golems are immediately or automatically killed and sorted, and I can drop down here to grab all the iron. Of course, I collected it all. I can't remember why. I was working on something, so I took it all, but usually that's full with quite a bit. Down here is kind of an extension of the project to make everything look like vanilla Minecraft. And I did my best at building a cave. I've actually gotten better at it, but so that's this staircase here. It's donators. Back when my main form of donations was just random donations, I would give credit to people here. So on the little iron blocks throughout the cave. And then eventually Patreon kind of took over as my main form of donations. So in here, I built a mock mob spawner, and this is where I track all my patrons. I'm missing one, Riddle, so I'll have to put him up on there. But yeah, I can't get mossy cobble, so this was the best I could do. And then right here is just a little tiny staircase. This is meant to look like a strip mine, like something someone would build to go down to a strip mine. That's actually just where I mine dirt when I'm around here, and if I need a lot of dirt. Yeah, so that's all there is to see over here. And you can even go inside these farms and even go up top. I made it so that you can climb around in the inside of the tree. On this other staircase over here is my first 150 subscribers. For my 150 subscriber special, I literally wrote everybody's name down who was subscribed to me, every single person. So all 150 of my first subscribers, including the 150th, Mr. Oswin Knott, are recorded on this wall. And yeah, so they are forever immortalized. So some of these people I know still watch my videos. So shout out to the people who have stuck around, because that's pretty cool. So anyways, we can come up here, and over here are the floating platforms of awesomeness, and most of them don't really have anything yet, but this is meant to be a place where I can have a lot of AFK farms. Over here you see some colorful stuff. This is the sheep farm, and they keep escaping, which is really annoying. Because they shouldn't. But I'm trying to convert all the sheep to Jeb sheep just for the hell of it. I think they... Yeah, what? Dude, get back in there, dude. Anyways, this is a design by Danielle Coates, and it's basically an AFK wool farm. I stand up there, and the sheep are automatically raised to the top. And then I shear them, and then they go down, and they're guided by... Actually, just normal passive mob mechanics. They tend to follow certain light trails, and they tend to travel, I think it is west. Yeah, they tend to travel west. So anyways, yeah, and there's the sign, T-Bone 2424 is Garden of Pharaohs. So the next place to visit is sort of this big iron golem farm, or rather iron golem statue. You can see it looming in the distance there. It's pretty huge. Took quite a bit of resources, but we're going to take the fun way over, which is down below, and I've yet to install a fully working minecart system, but that's the plan. Basically, I'll be able to bus over both iron and sheep, wool, and anything else really that is tradable. So wool is the big one. Wool is my main export. But basically, there will be a big minecart system here. You can see I'm already planning it out down here. And it's supposed to look like an abandoned mine shaft from the vanilla game. And the minecarts will carry all of the wool and the whatever else I need over to the trading center. And the reason the trading center is so far away is simply because I can't have any villagers near my iron golem farms or it'll mess stuff up. So I just decided to do this. So we're traveling over here. Eventually, I'll put some minecarts so I can ride it myself. But if we go over here, we've got a little bit of a minecart system here that will basically, I'll be able to deload a minecart essentially and get everything that's in it really quick and then launch it off again. And then I'll have a minecart loader as well. Those are designs by cool guy Danny whoever, who I found. But anyways, we got some stuff lying around here. Here's the big iron golem looking up his nose. This was an infinite villager breeding station, but those are kind of broken now, so this thing's just kind of sitting here. But anyways, the villagers would travel up the iron golem's leg, and right now this is the only way up, is this kind of slow staircase. I'll put something faster eventually. Now that slime blocks kind of made elevators really easy to make, I'll put something faster. But anyways, we travel up his leg here, and we've got a chicken farm, and this thing makes eggs and raw chicken, which is tradable as well with the villagers, which is why I have it there. And then we can go up here. We've got a cloud going through this head, and we've just got a bunch of villagers. They're sectioned off into little sections because only some of them are useful, so I just tend to remember which ones are useful and which section they reside in. Otherwise, they're impossible to keep track of. I'm trying to work out some sort of system. But anyways, you can see I've got a lot of tradable stuff here. Got a lot of wool. This is all stuff that I can trade with them as well. And yeah, as you see, I've got the gold there. And then I've got a bunch of different colors of wool that I've traded for, basically to unlock their wool trade so I can trade them more wool. It's kind of confusing. But nonetheless, this is my trading system. And it's kind of rudimentary. I mean, this is the tunnel which the villagers used to come up from the infinite breeding cell, but it doesn't really work anymore. So now they're just a bunch of people floating there. Eventually, I'd like to fill this wall with useful trades, but it's really hard to section these guys off without killing any of them, because if you kill them, they get mad at you and they don't want to trade anymore. This thing right here is actually like a really quick hostile mob farm I made. That's just built into the wall. It actually works pretty well. Even though it's like practically nothing, and I just made it up on the spot. But it works well because there's practically no places for a mob to spawn in this world. And so if I come in the back of the chicken farm here and open this door, I come into here where there's an automatic killer, and I just get some mob drops. So this is, I'll take the rotten flesh out of here and go and trade it with the villagers. That's why I have this thing here. So anyways, that's pretty much it for my entire Flatworld, believe it or not. It's all over. That was probably kind of a long episode. I tried to go as fast as I could, but I didn't want to miss anything. For those of you who are new viewers, as I'm sure there will be once I post to Reddit, thank you for joining me. Hopefully that brief history of the Flatworld is enough for you. Because there's, it's like a 2-year-old world, so a lot has gone into it. But thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is just a 4x4 mob elevator because there's a little village down there, which is what I use to grab all my villagers, as you can see. But it's pretty stripped now. It's pretty pathetic. So yeah. Anyways, I'm done. I should stop blabbering on and on. You guys are probably sick of hearing my voice. I've got other series on the channel, so make sure to check that out. I actually have another super flat series on the flat core server, and you can play right alongside me on that server, so it's really fun. And it's definitely a different experience than here on the Flatworld. And I've got Rockhouse SMP series and Creative Building series, and I also do other games such as Nuclear Throne, etc. So make sure you stop by for some of that fun. But that's going to be it for now. I'll see you all in the next episode. Things will go back to normal, and we're going to be building more stuff. So I'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by, and have a nice life.